another edition of the Contractor's Secret Weapon weekly podcast with your hosts, Dave Negri. This program is dedicated to helping contractors, remodelers, painters, roofers, roof cleaners, and business owners in the construction industry gain an unfair advantage over the competition. This program supplies you with information that the competition doesn't even know exists. This session brought to you by ContractorsSecretWeapon.com.
Before we get into the conversation, I just want to do a shout out to our sponsors who help promote Contractor's Secret Weapon and just some of the things that they have in store for you, our listeners. Hey, is your phone ringing enough? Do you want it to ring more with highly motivated and qualified buyers that contact you, the contractor, directly? No more waiting for the phone to ring. Just answer that phone. Best Home Services leads are dedicated to making your phone ring with motivated buyers that call you directly. There's no obligation to talk with them. Just go to ContractorSecretWeapon.com/money. Fill out the form to secure your discount on the setup fee. Do it today. This special will not last forever. Check them out at ContractorSecretWeapon.com/money.
Running a small business is no easy task, and I should know because I had a service company for almost 10 years. I am the founder of a software called Radius Bomb, and it's unbelievable. And for all the listeners of Contractor's Secret Weapon, we have a special offer for you to check out. If you want to send hyper-targeted, laser-focused, super personalized postcards to your exact prospects using a map while sitting in your underwear, then go to ContractorSecretWeapon.com/Radius Bomb, and we'll give you your first 100 postcards for free. Just go to ContractorSecretWeapon.com/Radius Bomb.
Hey, this is Dave Negri with Contractor's Secret Weapon, and today I have a returning guest because of you guys. His name is Craig Cody, and Craig is a certified tax coach, certified public accountant, business owner, and former New York City police officer with 17 years experience on the force. In addition to being a certified public accountant, for the past 15 years, he's also a certified tax coach. And as a certified tax coach, Craig belongs to a select group of tax practitioners throughout the country who undergo extensive training and continued education on various tax planning techniques and strategies to become, as well as remain certified in this area, which with his organization, Craig has co-authored an Amazon bestseller book, Secrets of the Tax-Free Life. And today I'm excited because this is one that you all are going to love. The topic is, can I write that off? So Craig, thanks so much for being with us today.
Oh, thank you very much for having me today. I'm psyched.
And we got such a great response to you being on here the last time that this is really, I know this is going to be fun. I know it's always fun for me, but it'll be fun for a lot of our guests too. So can I write that off? Boy, that is probably 1,000 different things or 1,000 different questions we could ask, huh?
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever been asked that question before.
Can I write that off? Yeah. First, you have to get everything out of your shoebox and put it in order before I can tell you whether you can write that off, right?
That's right. And sometimes when I tell them yes, they're actually really surprised.
Yeah, because they're just grasping at straws. They're just hoping, right?
Exactly.
So, okay, here's one I wanted to ask you. And what is the most unique thing that someone has asked you, can I write that off?
Oh, it was probably some type of cosmetic surgery. And I'll leave it at that. Leave it to the imagination.
Okay.
Well,
it wasn't work-induced, right?
Yeah. Actually, it was work-induced, which was even stranger. Not boring.
No, I'm sure it's not. So I'm sure that, and I know that a lot of people are, it's getting that time of the year. And, as they go through all their income expenses and stuff, and they're going, I'm sure that I can write that off, or I wish I could write that off. What are some of the things that you want to tell us about that today?
Well, some of the unique things, let's talk about,
okay.
Can I write off my pool? And that's one of them when they're shocked when I say, yeah, well, if you have a home office, you could write off your pool because you're allowed to have a home athletic facility for the use of your employees and you and their families.
Oh, wow.
So that one is typically a little bit of a shocker.
So what if you live up north and you have a game room?
If it's a gym, you could write it off. Not a game room,
Okay.
or a pool, or even if it was an ice skating rink. We have a few of those. You could write that off. Yeah, so you could write off. You actually depreciate the actual pool, and you could write off the operating expenses.
Sweet.
Yep, just have to document everything. A lot of things just come down to making sure you document what you're supposed to.
That's wild. So what are some of the other fun things a lot of business owners come up to you with and say,
Oh,
I just give us a list. And some of them are probably crazy, but that's okay because
yes, some of them that they can't write off, they come up to me for. But there's a lot of times they'll come up with medical expense items, and can I write this off? Well, you can write it off, but you're not going to get the benefit of it unless we do it a certain way.
Okay.
Another thing that's actually interesting is if your child goes to a special school and maybe they have ADHD or ADD, or there's some reason that they have to go to a special school, that could actually be a legitimate medical deduction, and we could create a medical expense reimbursement plan. So that can work off. We just had a client that had to pay huge fees for rehab that they thought they were going to write off through Schedule A and lose like $30,000 of the deduction. So we were able to show them how to do it the right way and take the full $100,000 as a deduction. So you need to ask. That's really what it comes down is you should ask, and you should have somebody that's willing to look into things and not just shut their mind out, and is willing to invest in education and learning what's out there that you can do, because there's so many things out there. So many things, and that's why when we work with clients, sometimes they're shocked. Oh, wait, I can write my pool off? Yeah, you can.
Yeah, that's why it's so important to have someone like yourself as a member of the team, because you are a team member.
Right. Everybody should have a team.
Right.
We spend so much time working on our businesses, building our businesses. Can't do it alone. You need to concentrate on what you're really good at, and have other people deal with the stuff that you're not really good at.
Yeah. That's amazing. So what I'm gonna have, I've got a friend who has a multi-million-dollar business, and I'm gonna think about some of the things that he's actually had. So like, if you have a boat, you can possibly write that off.
Potentially, you could write that off.
If the company
Sometimes
buys it? Depends.
You really have to be careful on that. Okay. But typically, if somebody buys a boat, and it can actually be a second home, and they can write the interest, off on their Schedule A. So there are rules with that a lot of people actually fall under. So that could be a good thing. And there's $1 million limit on mortgage interest and stuff like that. But and that might change in the next 24 hours. It might become a lower number.
Oh. I figured they might go higher. No, huh?
No.
Come on.
I don't think so. I mean,
they want that tax money.
Yes. And it looks like big business is really going to get a big bulk of whatever this tax savings is going to be.
Well, that's a whole other story for a whole other day, where that comes from.
Yes.
Eventually. So okay, let's keep moving on these. What can I write off stuff that most people don't even think about, and most business owners.
Yeah, I mean, people don't think about their home office. They definitely don't think about that. Some people do, but most people don't. They don't think about their medical expenses. They don't think about how to properly do that. They don't think about how to write off their kids, camp, high school tuition, hockey lessons or hockey camp and stuff like that. All right. So there's a way to do that by hiring your kids, and then you pay them directly, and then you let them pay for the camp or the school directly out of their bank account.
I know, and I brought that up to my son-in-law the other day, because he's a real estate agent, and of course he's technically in his own business. And I says, you know what? I said, your kids are getting old enough where you can hire them and make them pay for their own stuff. And he goes, the last time I talked to my accountant about that, he said, there's no benefit to it. I said, fire him.
Right, exactly.
And get somebody that thinks properly.
Right. Exactly. That's very true because if he's a realtor and he's a Schedule C, that's a home run.
Yeah. I said, just there's stuff that they can do, for your business that you can pay them and let them start paying their own bills, and you can
Right.
write the whole thing off.
Exactly. You make non-deductible expenses deductible. And, I spend a lot of time going to, advanced trainings and learn this stuff.
Yeah.
So, the typical CPA has to do about, 30 to 40 hours a year in training. I do easily 2 weeks, if not more.
Right, because now you're learning the ins and outs of what can and can't be done, and you think, well, I'm not going to go there, but I will go there. You would think that everyone would go for that, but there again, that's why we have different personalities, we have different thought processes, and different things. I just need to find the right person who will work with you on your side. That's all it really is, isn't it?
Exactly. It's kind of like working on versus in your business.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah. So we have hiring the kids, we have the home office, we have your car and truck expenses, and if you have a home office now, all your travel from your one office to your other office becomes deductible.
Wait, you can have two offices. You can have a home office and another office, and do both of them.
Oh yeah. So let's just say in my case, I spend easily 2 hours every morning.
Okay.
Answering emails and doing stuff. All right. Plus, easily 2 hours. Then time on the weekends. As long as you spend 14 hours a week working from that home office, then it falls under the rules and it's qualified.
Okay.
So, and most people I speak to, when I tell them you got to do 14 hours, they look at me like 14 hours.
Yeah, that's part time.
I'm working 60 hours or 40 hours in my regular office, and I'm home and I'm doing emails, I'm doing billing, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
That's a drop in the bucket. So.
Yeah, that's a huge thing because I was real there again. Not that I have two offices, but I was always under the impression you could only do one.
No.
Yeah.
Well, think about if you're a real estate company and you have multiple offices.
Yeah.
Why can't you're allowed to deduct the rent on all those offices?
Yeah, that's true.
And all the expenses that are associated with it.
Same principle.
2 dental practices, So, and we all do a lot of administrative stuff when we're sitting at home, whether it's, in our office or, at the TV.
Yeah.
Which means you're not working in your office, so you should be doing it in your office, in front of the TV in your office.
Right. Right. That's
so,
why I have one here.
Exactly.
It's never on, but it's here.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I don't even know if it works, but it's there. I haven't thrown it out yet.
So yeah, that's a bunch of things that you can do. Then we have you're allowed to rent your home out for 14 days a year and not pay income tax on that money. So that's an interesting thing.
That is very interesting. So, could you rent it out to your company for like a Christmas party or a New Year's party or any other kind of party during the year?
Yeah, you could do that, or you could rent it as especially with Airbnb, that's really popular.
Yeah.
But you want to make sure you don't go over the 14 days, because if you go over the 14 days, it's all taxable.
All of it's taxable.
Yes.
So is it 14 days total, or is it 14?
Total?
Okay, so it's 14 days total through the year. So that that just brought up, like, for where I live, every once in a while, you have a Super Bowl that comes here. You could rent out your house for the weekend for megabucks.
Yep, and you don't have to pay that. I had a client that used to rent the house in Brooklyn for movies, and they used to pay it was wonderful. They were paying her $5,000 a day. Ooh. So conceivably, if she was able to get them to rent it for 14 days, that she would have made, a lot of money.
Yeah. Would have paid part of her mortgage.
Right, and she would not have had to claim any of it legally on a tax return.
Oh, I love that.
So, and you just got to be careful that you don't go over the 14 days, obviously.
So you need to, everyone who's listening, you need to think about how you can do that in different venues. If you can't rent it out for your party, have an associate rent it out for their party. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Just figure out how you can get to 14 days in there, because it it could be worth it to you.
Exactly. So, but yeah, there's some interesting stuff out there, and I think what everybody needs to do is they need to communicate with their CPA and stay in touch with them and make sure that they stay in touch with each other, so they could all help each other keep more of what they're making.
Yeah, that's the key. I always say that's the profit that you never see is when you pay to the IRS. So let's get to keep more of it.
Exactly. That's probably the easiest profit to make, rather than going out and getting more clients and picking up more overhead.
Yeah, because you were thinking about paying it, so now you get to keep it.
Correct.
Keep it all. That would be nice if we keep it all, but that's not going to happen. But no, keep
Right.
as much as that's legally allowed, so that we can have more fun and do whatever we want with it.
There was right. There was one of the Supreme Court justices that has a very quote that says, "There's nothing wrong with structuring your affairs so you pay the least amount of tax possible."
Who was that guy?
Oh God, I'm having a.
Okay, I am too, because I knew it. Wasn't Holmes, was it?
No, I'm thinking it might have been Marshall, but I'm not exactly
okay,
sure.
Yeah, I was okay. I remember that though.
Yeah.
I remember that reading a bunch of stuff. So it's my responsibility. It's my job to pay as little as possible because it's written in a tax code so that I just have to be able to know where it is and what it is, and that's why. Again, we're gonna talk to people like Craig so that we can not do that. So we can have that team member.
Exactly, and it was actually William Rehnquist. There's nothing wrong with a strategy to avoid the payment of taxes. The Internal Revenue Code doesn't prevent that. That's a statement from Justice.
Cool. Yep. So that's pretty awesome. I love that. So what's another really weird thing that someone's asked you if they could write off that was available?
That was available. Cosmetic dentistry. Somebody had they had to get new. I guess you want to call them false teeth implants.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time I heard it, that can't be deductible. I thought back to my grandparents, with the old dentures. And it is. You could actually write that off as a legitimate medical expense.
Wow.
So,
I would think it would apply to certain industries, but what the heck? Like if you were a news anchor or actor or something like that, then it would be part of your income producing.
Right, but if I don't have teeth, I can't chew food, so I can't eat, so I can't survive. So.
That's another way of looking at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, sometimes just a matter of the way you document different things. But I think that one's a pretty straightforward one. It was the first time I heard it, I was a little surprised. I've gotten some weird ones over the times, and my dog. Obviously, you can't deduct the cost of your dog now. If it's a Rottweiler and it's in a junkyard, yeah, that's a different story.
Because they're performing a service.
Exactly.
Okay.
But that's not a huge cost.
Yeah.
But your pet poodle at home, no, you can't deduct that.
What about if you tried to pay them by the hour? They'd have to have a Social Security number.
The Social Security number.
So we could have a lot of fun with this, huh?
People try. Can I claim my dog as a dependent? No.
Well, you feed them then.
Exactly. So, but yeah, I think the biggest one was the pool is something that people are very surprised about, or the school if they have to go to a special school, and that those are typically pretty expensive things, and they can save you a lot of money.
Yeah, especially some schools, and I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, some of the schools are expensive as college.
Yeah, some of them are more expensive, I think. And, depending on what the school is for, it could be very expensive. Same with rehab, can be very expensive. And the ability to structure your affairs so you can actually write that off is a good thing.
Yeah. Wow. That's just amazing. Just, again, that's just knowing the right people who know the right things that will put your whole tax perspective into profit. I'm going to put it into profit-making mode. Let's put it that way.
Right. And I mean, I guess I could throw a little thing in there that's really more towards contractors and rehabbers and stuff like that. Is the domestic production activities deduction.
What's that?
That it's basically a deduction that was meant to keep jobs in the U.S. versus going overseas and giving these factories, let's say, a credit or a deduction for producing goods in the United States. And I guess as the bill was written, it was expanded to include construction and remodelers and stuff like that. And it basically, if you take they call qualified productions activity income, and you take then your qualified activities expenses and you get your net income, and you take 9% of that, you get a deduction on your personal return. So if, let's just say you're a new home builder, or you do spec, and you have $500,000 in net profit, you can wind up with like a $45,000 deduction for this, and it's very often missed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's wild. That's really wild. Just those little things that you know.
Yep, and that's why it pays to go and go to conferences and learn things, because you'll talk to other people that are doing different things, and people love to share ideas.
Well, yeah, and then that's what makes you the expert in your marketplace. The go-to guy is that more than your average CPA, because you've taken the time to become the expert. Just like we tell our contractors to become the expert, take that extra time to become the certification, or become the expert, learning more to become the expert in their field, so that they become the go-to guy. Like you become the go-to guy to contractors, they become the go-to guy to their clients, their customers.
Yes, exactly.
So it's a consistency in the whole growing your business standpoint.
Yes. And I think I'm kind of out of odd type of questions that aren't your standard questions that they ask us.
All right, so what's the funniest one that you've ever gotten that just was a flat out no?
She was somehow she called the office, and she was a lady of the evening.
Okay. And
she had questions about what she was able to deduct and what she wasn't able to deduct.
Oh, okay. Of course, I'm sure they asked her, "Are you incorporated?"
And the interesting thing is, even if you're performing an illegal activity, you're still supposed to pay tax on that money.
Yes, I know. Yeah, that's the funny thing. Well, that's why they're trying to make it a cashless society, so they can track all the money, so they can tax everything.
Right. Exactly. I don't know where. I'm not sure where Bitcoin fits into all that and cryptocurrency, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's kind of funny on how many experts there are in cryptocurrency now. It's amazing.
Yeah, they're popping up every day.
I know. That's right. I'll let them pop up and the way they pop down too. So I'm afraid to even consider that one. But that's me. So hey, Craig, this has really been awesome. I'm just can I write that off? That's been a lot of fun today. How can our listeners get in touch with you so they can get more of your information and actually contact you personally if they want you to help or consider you being on their team?
Sure. Well, they could go to our website. It's craigcodyandcompany.com. And actually, if they go to craigcodyandcompany.com/secret weapon, they can get a free copy, paper copy of our book, our most recent book, The 10 Most Expensive Tax Mistakes That Cost Business Owners Thousands. They could also call us at 516-869-4051 or email at craig@ccodycpa.com. And I'm sure you'll have all that information in your show notes.
Yes, we will. Make sure everything goes in our show so that everyone can go to it and download it and get whatever information they need Excuse me, I'm losing my voice here. Awesome. So this has really been fun. I'm glad that you are our guest today, and we got to talk in, and I'm glad that you are going to be at the Podfest. That sounds like a fun thing. Again, I want to thank you for joining us and investing your time with us today. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and if you did, go to iTunes and give us a shout-out. You can also go to our website, www.contractorsecretweapon.com, and check out today's episode and leave us a comment in the bottom of the page. And if you haven't gotten your 15 secret weapon strategies to getting higher-end customers, get it while you're at the website. Also, I want to thank again our sponsors for keeping this podcast alive for your profit-making pleasure. And so go be profitable this week. Work smarter, not harder, and learn how to leverage your time and your knowledge so that you can be more profitable. Again, see you next week.
Thanks for joining us for another weekly episode of the Contractor's Secret Weapon Podcast with Dave Negri. We would love to hear your comments about this episode, so visit us online at www.contractorsecretweapon.com and let us hear your thoughts. If you are listening via iTunes, please leave us a positive review. The more positive reviews we receive, the more other contractors will benefit from this show. Thank you, and see you next time here on the Contractor's Secret Weapon Podcast.